Thank you everyone for joining us. We have Jason Gillespie with us for the press conference. Daniel, first question from your side. Thank you.
Sorry, the microphone there. Yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
In the first 7 overs today, under overcast skies, it looked like Bangladesh were quite comfortable batting, and the ball didn't seem to be doing much. So I just wondered, we spoke last month and you said it was important to keep players like Shaheen and Naseem fit for this series. Could you just talk us through the idea behind leaving Naseem out, especially when Shaheen was going to be unavailable?
Yeah, so we looked at conditions, looked at surfaces, what we thought the best combination was going to be, taking into account what we saw for the game, reflected on the previous game, and this is where we landed. I think in the first innings, if you saw, at one point we had Bangladesh in a bit of strife, and we bowled quite well. Our lines, our lengths were excellent. I suppose the only thing that was, once lunch came and we came to that afternoon session, to be fair, Bangladesh played well, but on reflection, and I spoke to the bowlers about it this morning, that we've got to identify those periods where, maybe the ball's just got a little bit older, maybe the surface settles down, and we've just got to really hang in and not try and, I suppose, search for wickets, because you can fall into that trap. And I think that's probably what we did a little bit. But look, just on that decision, obviously there's a few things that we're hoping Shaheen can work on. He's obviously had a pretty eventful time in his personal life as well. So all that being considered, we want Shaheen Afridi to be at his very best for as much cricket as possible. He's an all-format player, and we've got a pretty heavy schedule, so we want to make sure that he's fit and firing and he's bowling at his very best so that he can play as many games as possible for Pakistan. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, so the boys are fine, and I think what we've got to understand is that we're trying to build a squad mentality and not just rely on a few players here and there. We want to create an environment and a squad where we can look at conditions, look at surfaces, look at holistically what is coming up, and make the best decisions, informed decisions that we can for the betterment of the team and the squad. And we want to make sure we put our best foot forward each and every time we go out to play.
Afternoon, Dizzy. This is Behram Qazi from Pro Sports.
Hey mate, how are you?
Good. Bit of a radical move to go with the new ball pair of Mir Hamza and Khurram Shahzad. They obviously did exceptionally well. You worked with Mir Hamza at Sussex prior as well.
Yep.
But they weren't as penetrative with the old ball. So what do you think Pakistan could have done differently to kind of seize the moment and bowl Bangladesh out quickly? And as far as home test templates go, these conditions look pretty solid. Are you happy with them?
I'm happy with the conditions, so there's no issues there. It's a good question. Didn't help that we had Mo Ali off for a period of time yesterday. That was a bit of a blow. But obviously his health was the most important, and he was just struggling out there a little for a while there. So we needed to get him off and get him assessed, and thankfully he's okay. So he was about to start bowling then before the rain came. But look, we know we probably didn't bowl as effectively as we know we can, particularly after lunch, after we had Bangladesh in a bit of strife, as I just mentioned to Daniel. We just make sure we need to keep fronting up. Spoken to our bowlers about being ruthless, being disciplined, and bowling with intent. And we just went away from our game plan. And I've challenged the bowlers pretty strongly on that we need to make sure that we're on each and every time, because Test cricket can get away from you. Opposition are very good, and full credit. I'm not going to shy away from that. I think Bangladesh played well. No question, those guys batted really well. But I know that our bowlers can do better in that situation than what they showed. And we had a good discussion about it, and we just need to make sure that execution is absolutely bang on each and every time. No worries.
Yes, this is Zahid Malik. You just joined before the two test match to Pakistan team. If if we see the two matches performance of the Pakistan team, what are the positive you have seen so far? There are a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Once in the first test match, you think it's going to draw, then drama, and the second in the second test, once you are 26-6, and you are near to follow on, but now you are with the help of Reynolds. Looking.
No, we're only 10 wickets away from winning.
What was the positive you have so far seen in the Pakistan?
Yeah, look, great question. Thank you for that. Look, certainly the first test match, there were some positives. We were sent in and found ourselves in a little bit of trouble. There was, and then some really good partnerships and got us into a position where we were able to drive the game. And that was the whole goal. We wanted to try and force a result. Unfortunately, we probably didn't bowl as well as we know we could. Bangladesh played well, scored some runs, and then we missed out in the second innings, which was, I suppose, the work on our second innings batting in both games probably hasn't been what we'd like. The positives is we've been getting starts. So if you look at the first innings of this game, we had a big partnership after losing Abdullah, 107 between Sain and Shan. And then we also had 5 partnerships between 25 and 32 runs. So we're getting starts, we're getting in there. We just need to capitalise on those. We probably needed a couple of those partnerships to be 75, plus, and then we're absolutely driving the game. So they're the learnings for us. Also in our first innings, besides Abdullah, all our other 6 batters in the top 7 faced at least 29 balls, 30 balls, I think. So the lads are getting in. We just need a couple of guys to go on and really make the most of those starts, which is, we've seen our opposition do that, so we've got to learn from that. And we did that in the first game, just not quite in the second. But yeah, sort of, I've been happy with the efforts of our bowlers. As I said just now, I'm challenging them pretty hard on their disciplines and their ruthlessness. And that's just something that's going to be an ongoing process for us if we're going to be a good Test cricket side and compete with the best, we need to make sure we're nailing the basics time and time again. That's what Test cricket's about.
Hi Jason,
Hello.
This is Rizwan from AP.
Hi Rizwan.
Can you talk something about the form of Babar Azam and especially your top 4?
Yep.
They are
What would you
all-
like to
they
know?
are- what has happened to Babar Azam's batting form? Because he has been struggling for the last 16 innings and you have seen him playing the last 4 yourself.
Look, Babar's a quality player, and he's got a couple of starts, and a bit like a few of our players, just hasn't been quite able to convert those starts. But Babar is a world-class player, and look, he's very close. I feel it. I'm really confident that we're going to see Babar scoring some big runs very soon. So, look, while I know he's disappointed, he probably hasn't converted his starts that he's got. He's too good a player, and looking forward to seeing him do really well. And you mentioned the top 4. Look, again, it's probably the same answer. We're getting starts and just not capitalising on those starts. So again, that's Test cricket is a game of patience and being very disciplined in whatever you do. And if you can do that for longer than the opposition, you give yourself the best chance of driving the game forward. You'll hear me say that word a lot, or that phrase a lot, is about driving games. I know Shan's very big on it. We want to drive games, but we have to earn the right to be able to do that. And that's where we challenge our batters. Once we get in, let's go big. And let's put the opposition under the cosh a bit. And that's just, probably these 2 tests, we probably quite haven't done that. We've shown glimpses of what we can do, but we just need to put sessions together, put days of cricket together. We have a good session and then we have a not so good session. So we need to make those gaps a lot smaller. Okay.
Are the coaches working with Babar in the nets?
Yep. Yeah, and it's been fine. There's been a lot of discussions, a lot of communication, and the coaches have been excellent and putting a lot of time and effort into it. All the players are putting the time and effort in. to identify ways to be even better. And, you know, that's what I'm really proud of, this group of players who, you know, I'm getting to know these